there's a sense that before maybe like our universe exists in data logic, that there's this kind of timelessness, and it's almost like infinite and eternal, which kind of doesn't make sense pre-space time, but that's the sense of it. Is, would you put those words on data logic as this something that always
Yeah.
necessarily exists?
Eternal, yes, but I don't see, the thing is that it's not really before space time, because space time as an embedded extension of that transcendental ground also always exists. So there's no before or after space time. Space time is like an eternal logical object. It's not the most absolute level of the eternal. That's what I would identify with data logic. But it's not like, the absolute exists and then sort of later on, you get space time. It's like you have the absolute, and like as a sort of a necessary extension of the absolute, you always have these logically possible worlds, one of which being sort of the locally observable space-time.
Okay, so the something like what we perceive as time, as like you say, from the Big Bang till now, does all of that exist at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm generally a subscriber to the B theory of time. So the B theory of time sort of says past, present, and future. These are perspectival distinctions. They depend on like where you're situated. And I usually think of it as, I guess, like the universe as a timeline, a spatiotemporal sort of object, the entirety of which exists at once. And then, how we usually think of time is a perspectival function of what it's like to exist within that object as just a part. But if you were to sort of, I guess, stand apart from it and look at it, I often analogize it to video files on a computer hard drive. Once you sort of press play, sort of things are changing and the characters are moving around in a linear sort of fashion, but pressing play that's not the beginning of the existence of the file, And, from a distance, like that whole timeline exists on your hard drive prior to you opening up the file and looking through it and taking a perspective, and sort of, that, I guess, everything that will happen or has happened or can happen in that file is already encoded in it as a complete logical object.
Is that a kind of fatalism then, like that our futures already exists in a file somewhere, and that everything that plays out will just play out exactly how the file suggests?